Ready to do this?
Yeah, we're recording. We've been recording for like the past 5 minutes.
We have?
Yeah.
Oh, don't put any of this
I
stuff
can't.
on.
I probably won't. I won't.
Don't. Why isn't the little red thing on?
So for our, I don't know. It's on. For our
be a little red.
It's up in the left corner, at least for me. For our 100th subscriber.
Are you sure we're recording?
I'm 100% sure we're recording. Our 100th subscriber will get access to the edited outtakes, all the conversations that happened before and after the episodes that we couldn't put on the air.
And we'll pay for a year's worth of therapy for you to overcome that, because it'll take at least a year.
I feel like it'll be worth a year's worth of therapy. we get deep into it.
Yeah.
Let me change my light.
We
talked
a lot about nothing.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Garrett?
I can never get my lighting right in here. All right, welcome to Deep. This is even worse.
Yeah, it is. It's
even
grainy.
Worse. Ay. All right, bear with us, people. Okay. Hey, welcome to Deep Grooves, everybody. Hey. This is episode 20.
It is?
Yeah, we made 20 episodes this year.
We've done 20 of these, and we still only have 3 subscribers.
We have 24 subscribers, actually, last time I checked.
Yeah, but that's your mom.
My mom doesn't know how to use the computer, Ken.
We don't have aliases. She has like 20 aliases online.
If she could figure out how to do that, she would, but she can't, so she doesn't.
So today we're doing a new vinyl that we bought in 2020, which doesn't necessarily have anything to do with 2020.
Right.
Not necessarily stuff that came out in 2020, but it's new sealed vinyl that we bought this year that we like. Mm-hmm. And then we got to tell them we're going to our new format next week. A shorter version of us.
We can intersperse it. We'll still do long ones. I've just been getting burnt out. For anyone who's seen the previous episodes, they're pretty well produced. It just takes a lot of time. So who's starting?
I started last time, so you start.
Let's see. I'll start with. Let me see. I think I've talked about a couple of these. I haven't historically bought a ton of new records, so that's why we're doing 5 this week instead of 10.
Well, neither of us really, I don't think, buys a lot of new records.
Yeah, but this one, actually, when I bought it, it was like opened. Someone had opened it, but it was like it came out like last year. So someone must have bought it, put it down, been like, this isn't for me, and then just sold it like immediately. So this came out last year. This record. This is let me get this out. I think this came out last year, 2019.
You bought that at my store.
Yeah. This is David Torn and Tim Byrne, Chess Smith, and they got an orchestra on here too. Or I guess not an orchestra. They have basically a quartet, string quartet. And Craig Taborn's on here. This is like a recent ECM record. This, if you're familiar with their music, this is kind of a familiar type looking album cover. Here's the cats on the back. Very, how would you describe the music? It's spacey, a lot of electronics. Yeah, very moody and but really great sound, really great, depth. Since I've been listening to records on vinyl and through speakers, I think ECM is the label that continuously impresses me the most. Like, they always sound so spot on and so lush. And this is
they've always been kind of pioneers as far as really good pressings, really good studios.
Yeah.
I don't think their new vinyl pressings are as good as their old vinyl pressings.
It's tough to compare to their old stuff, yeah. But this one's pretty darn good. And yeah, the music's probably not for everybody. You know, it's like avant-garde, spacey, you know, electric guitar driven kind of stuff. But I really dig it. Yeah, the first side, actually, it's basically just two sides. They just fill the entire side and then fill the entire side. There's no like pieces on here really. It's just long compositions.
Well, I just bought this one. This is one I couldn't pass up. Whoosh by Deep Purple.
I heard that.
Yeah, this is a great thing. Deep Purple continues to be a contender after 55 years plus. I mean, I've been listening to these guys. We figured out the other day for like 50 years. And Ian Gillian is still an amazing vocalist. Of course, Richie Blackmore is gone. He was replaced by Steve Morse, who has always been one of my favorites. I love the Dixie Dregs. So it's kind of like Deep Purple Deluxe, because you get Steve Morse in the mix. But yeah, I don't think the songwriting's probably as good as their best stuff in the day. But all in all, a really strong record, and production-wise, production's excellent. So really nice package too.
Gorgeous cover.
Yeah, it comes with a live DVD as well of a live show.
It's fancy.
So this particular, oh yeah, this is black vinyl. I thought maybe I couldn't remember if it was colored vinyl, but yeah, black vinyl, but really nice heavy cover DVD with it. So check it out. If you like Deep Purple, you will like it.
All right, check this out. Ken, I don't know if you've seen this. This is one of my favorite musicians who's out right now. Have you seen this one?
Oh.
This is Esperanza Spalding. This is her latest album. She started, I think, in 2011, maybe even earlier. She got the Grammy for Best New Artist, and then she got like death threats from Justin Bieber's fans. It was a super, and so she started off her career doing like, you know, really cool kind of Latin jazz sort of stuff, playing upright, killer upright player, and especially when you see her hands on the bass, like she's got, you know, like, you know, kind of relatively small, thin hands, and she's got such a huge sound. Like it's incredible. She's an incredible musician, and so she would sing, and it was nice. It was like, it was incredible, but it was nice. And then I think the Grammy must have been longer ago than 2011, but at some point, I think in 2012 or maybe 20, I don't have my dates in my head, but she came out with this album called Emily's De-Evolution, which was like prog meets the Joni Mitchell, Jaco Pastorius collaboration. She was playing fretless bass. She had Matthew Stevens on like these like super spacey and distorted guitar parts. It was like a concept record about, it was, I don't know, like a coming of age thing or something like that. And she totally started like splitting her fan base. So like now when she performs, like there's like a constant stream of people leaving because they want to hear the old fun stuff when she had the afro instead of like the dreads, you know, and so she's like really balls to the wall. This is her latest one, and it's an album called 12 Little Spells. You can probably see it down there. And that's what they are. All the songs are like spells for body parts. So there's a spell for your eyes, there's a spell for your ears, for your blood, for your heart. And
Pretty out there.
It's so out there, but it works, in my opinion. Like, it's not for, like I said, it's not for everybody. She's really gone full on, just like whatever she wants to do. She's like kind of gone for it. And check out, I brought this one up next because you were talking about colored vinyl. Look at this. Woo!
Ooh, nice.
Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah.
Marbled vinyl.
Yeah, it's incredible. And it also came with a poster, which I have up on my wall. And not only that, I'm trying to be fast, but also make sure I don't hurt this thing. Not only that, it also came with, if I can reach it without pulling my computer, a turntable mat, which I don't use. It's a little bit thinner than the one that came with my turntable, so I don't know if I'm supposed to use it because it'll change the BTA. But how cool is that? So it's got the album cover.
That's cool.
Yeah, she is so incredible. I saw her do it. So she's like a pop star, semi pop star. And then I also in Boston, I went to see her do a gig with like Dave Liebman and Kenny Werner. And I don't remember who was on drums. So she can hang. She doesn't really consider herself a jazz musician, but she can hang,
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, this is a band that is kind of new to me, and I just picked this up. Moonchild.
Oh!
Little Ghost.
Yes!
Yeah, great band.
Oh, man.
How do we describe Moonchild? It's kind of like modern funk soul.
Yeah. Neo soul is what they call
kind
it.
Of electronica overtones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Excellent female vocalist. And really kind of a unique sound. I haven't really heard anything else other than maybe Thundercat. It's got that sort of
Somewhat.
Thundercat.
They're a little smoother than Thundercat. Like he's always got some rough edges, They're kind of in the Erykah Badu lineage, the neo soul thing. Do you know like the story behind how they became a band?
No, I know that basically they're just a trio.
Yeah, so they're a trio, the singer and then two keyboard players. They were going to I'm playing this guitar with my jacket. They were going to music school and they were studying jazz horns. So they were all, I think, the singer, I don't remember her name. She plays flute, and then one of them plays trumpet. Yeah. So none of them played keyboards.
Everin.
Yeah. So none of them played keyboards, and she didn't sing. And they would get together in one of their dorms or whatever, and they were getting so burnt out by just like shedding, transcriptions all day, that they're like, why don't we just mess around and write some songs? And so she kind of learned how to sing, and the other guys kind of learned how to play keyboards, and the whole kind of goal was to avoid like the standard rules
too, right?
Yeah, they all play horns. So sometimes they'll all have these like gorgeous what they would call soli parts, not solely, but soli. So yeah, I love that band.
This is a great album. I really like when I find new bands that do it for me. Doesn't happen that often.
They check all the boxes.
These guys are really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're incredible. I saw them at Berkeley. They gave a master class. Okay, now I think I may have brought this record up, but I got to bring it up again. Speaking of new artists who are just absolutely killing, I think this record, when did this come out? 2018? I don't think it says. 2018. And I got this from the guy. This is Aaron Parks. This is Little Big. Actually, he just put out Little Big 2, like right in the beginning of the pandemic. Dreams of a Mechanical Man, which is also incredible. And he came up, I don't know if he went to Berkeley. He came up in Terrence Blanchard's band, and now he plays with Terry Lynn Carrington. And he played with Kurt Rosenwinkel a lot back in the day. He played with a lot of people. And his music is the closest thing you could compare it to maybe is Pat Metheny, but like it doesn't have that kind of syrupiness to it. It's kind of film score-esque, but it's also very funky. He's got a lot of odd time signatures but like they don't sound like odd time signatures, which is how you know that he like knows what he's doing, So yeah, he's one of my I think probably favorite new composers right now. Like
he's a guitarist,
piano player, keyboard player. So he's got a really gorgeous touch on the piano, and then every once in a while he'll bring in like a synthesizer, and then he's got an interesting band. I don't think either the bass player or the drummer, one of them wasn't a jazz player. I think it might have been the bass player, because we saw them at the Jazz Estate. And the guitar player is interesting. He always plays with interesting guitar players. This guy, what's his name? Greg Tuohe, I think. There's a picture of them on the inside cover. This is a hip picture, by the way. And his melodically doesn't excite me that much. Like, he doesn't have cool lines like Kurt, or like he used to play with I'm not forgetting his name. Anyways, but his tone is like perfect for the music. So when he gets these like big long swells and lines and stuff going, it's really modern, very fresh, very hip, but it doesn't sound like they're trying to appeal to anybody, like they're trying to water it down. It sounds like very, very intentional. And it's based on, actually, it influenced me to get this book. It's based on a book. Let's see if everything doesn't come falling down. Of the same name, which is called Little Big, which is like a fantasy kind of like magical realist type book, where they're in this house that's like halfway between this world and like other dimensions, which are where like the fairies live, but they're always kind of like in the periphery. You never actually like interact with them. And it's, look how long it is. It's like goes through like 3 or 4 generations of this family. So he's hip. I just have that record of his, but anything you could find of his, I haven't found anything that I didn't think was amazing.
So I got some reissues. This was just reissued this year. So Horace Tapscott Quintet, The Giant is Awakened. And this is a sort of an underground jazz classic that came out in 1969, produced by Bob Thiel. Arthur Blythe is on alto sax, if you know him. Kind of a real modern sax player. David Bryant on bass, Walter Savage on bass also, and Everett Brown on drums. Great thing. It's a very sort of conceptual jazz kind of thing. Almost kind of has prog overtones here and there. But yeah, Horace Tapscott is an amazing piano player. And this is something I just sort of, I'd seen around and took a chance on.
Yeah.
So this was reissued on Real Gone Music, which I don't think is even a jazz label. It was originally on Bob Thiel's label, Flying Dutchman, back in the day, back in '69. So if you're looking for kind of less traditional and more conceptual jazz stuff, check this out. It's really good.
Cool. I'll follow that up. I'll follow that up with the reissue. This is the other one that I've brought up before, but again, I don't get that many new pressings. This one really impressed me. Once again, this is Andrew Hill, Blackfire.
Tone Poets.
Tone Poets, man. You know, I still got the.
It's the shit.
It's really good. Yeah, and the cover is like really sturdy. Like that impressed me almost as much.
So the Tone Poets series might be the best jazz reissue series to come out. Maybe not the best quality, but the best for the money, you know, in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Phenomenal pressings, phenomenal mastering, phenomenal covers.
Phenomenal music.
Really good choices.
Yeah.
Like this stuff that you'd have to pony up a lot of money for to get a original.
Like how would you, like, where are you going to find this record?
Well, you
like
can
Andrew
find
Hill,
it.
Well, I'm just, you can find it. Yeah, and you like, for me, this is not related to the conversation, but like I'm not the kind of guy who'll go looking for a record on eBay. Like, it's more special to me if I just wait until I see it in a store. You know what I mean? And this is one of those. I won't talk too much about it because I talked about it a few episodes ago, probably 5 or 6. But yeah, this is such a band. Look at this. Andrew Hill is the composer. He's on the more avant-garde side of the Blue Note cats, which is what this is a Blue Note. You don't recognize it from the cover. And obviously he's not as rambunctious as Cecil, but he stretches stuff more than you would expect from the kind of more funky, greasy kind of stuff that they tend to put out. And Joe Henderson. This is the record. This is when I was getting into Joe Henderson, Jack told me I had to listen to this record.
Joe Henderson's one of my favorite sax players.
He's like super, I don't think I should say he's underrated. If you're in jazz circles, you know who he is. Like, he's kind of he's not as iconic maybe as Coltrane or Wayne, but he's certainly a huge innovator. Really, really great tone, great melodic stuff. My favorite record of his, which I haven't found, or maybe I did find it once, but it was like torn to shreds, is Power to the People, which is with I think Tony Williams. No, Jack DeJohnette, Ron Carter, and Herbie Hancock, which is like, and they play so loud and furious, and like it's like a punk rock record but jazz. Richard Davis.
Yeah, there's 2 Joe Henderson records on the Tone Poets series.
Oh, they got the State of the Tenor, right? Is that what they are?
Yeah, volume 1 and volume 2.
Yeah,
phenomenal.
Yeah. So Richard Davis, he's local. Roy Haynes, who's been around since I think he played with Bird, and I don't know if he's still around, but he was playing till he was 90. So he was playing on like free jazz records. He was playing on shit like this. He was playing on I think he played with the Coltrane Quartet. And then he played with, like, he did that trio record with Pat Metheny, which is unbelievable. So Roy Haynes, man, he's unbelievable. He's an incredible drummer and super adventurous. And we should all try to be more like Roy Haynes, because that's why I'm bringing this up. Speaking
of Tone Poets, Tina Brooks. And speaking of bands, check out the band, Lee Morgan. This is some of Lee Morgan's best trumpet playing.
Oh man.
Sonny Clark, Doug Watkins, and Art Blakey. This one just kills me. Such a great band.
Yeah.
And again, if you haven't checked out the Tone Poets, man, really nice covers.
Yeah.
Really nice pressings. Heavy, 180 gram. Perfectly pressed, beautifully mastered.
And they come in plastic sleeves so you don't scratch it as you're pulling it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is another biggie. I bought a lot of the Tone Poet stuff.
I know.
And I love them all. But this is probably my favorite this week. I mean, next week it would be a different one for sure. Because, you fall in and out of love with these records as you're playing them. But this is the one that I haven't put away for like 2 months.
Yeah.
I just keep playing it over and over.
That Blue Note stuff, man, it's really enduring. Like, it still sounds like hip and fresh and like, it's great stuff.
Thanks to Don Was.
Yeah.
The producer who is now the head of Blue Note. And basically they're doing everything right, which is really unusual for,
isn't it?
A big company, because they're owned, I believe, by Uni, right?
Yeah, sounds right. I think so.
I mean, they're a big corporate, entity, let's say. I mean, but they're using their money and their backing to do something that's creatively exciting.
Yeah. It's great.
And getting really good jazz reissues into the hands of folks like us that can't afford to pay $400 or $500 or $600 for an original.
Have they done any of Wayne's stuff yet?
Yeah.
I could probably look that up. Oh man, I should hunt those down.
I think I've got one at the shop. There's two series. There's the Tone Poet series,
Right.
then there's the 90s series, which is
Okay.
almost the same thing.
Mm.
The covers aren't quite as deluxe, but it's same pressing, same mastering, excellent stuff, and it's like $10 cheaper.
Wow. Did you see the Lee Morgan documentary?
No, not
Ooh,
yet.
so that's what you got to get Netflix. We're trying to get Kenn into somewhat of the 21st century.
Well, I've had it. I usually get it in the
Yeah.
winter when I'm really bored, and I'm starting to get bored.
Yeah. So we're gonna get hook
Probably
up.
gonna happen. I want to see the Ma Rainey thing.
Yeah, that one is great. They have the Coltrane. I think they have the Coltrane documentary on there still. They had the Jocko one on there, the Miles one, and then the Lee Morgan one is really really good. It's an interview with his wife who killed him.
Who killed him? Yeah.
Yeah. So the movie is based around a tape interview that somebody did with her, like after she was in prison or something like that. It's real. I mean, it's intense. The guy had he had a heck of a life, and he really he was a very very
He's an
passionate about
amazing
music.
player.
Yeah,
For sure.
unbelievable.
One of my favorites. You got one more?
I got one more. I guess this isn't even my record. Because my mom wanted this one, so she gave me some money to come over and pick it up from you. My mom is a big classical music fan. She's also was into prog back in the day, which is kind of weird. If you've met her, it'd be like, really? She was into prog? Yeah, she was into Jethro Tull and Emerson, Lake and Palmer, which is I think maybe what led her to this record.
It was the 70s.
It was this, yeah, but she was hanging out with all the stoner kids, and she was, I think, maybe a little bit of a tomboy, so she got all the best music. Yeah. So this is
not me.
Yeah. Wait, you said what?
I said I'm glad you said that, and I didn't.
Oh yeah, but how cool is that? I got one of the best musical educations. She didn't even really know how rare of a thing that was to be listening to such hip music. So we bonded over that, among many other things. But so this is Copeland, Aaron Copeland, which I wonder. I have to ask her if she maybe, because her father was into classical music, but she was also into Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and they covered him. They covered Fanfare for the Common Man, which is on this record, and then also Hoedown. I don't know which one she listened to first, but she wanted to get this record for the Third Symphony. Copeland was an interesting cat. He was kind of one of the, I guess next, he was like a contemporary and a rival of Gershwin, I think if I'm remembering my history right. It's been a year or two since I was studying that era, but they were kind of rivals because Gershwin, I think, was more popular, and Aaron Copeland had he had a little more of the goods musically, even though they're both brilliant. The Aaron Copeland, I think he studied deep into the Schoenberg stuff. He made some really avant-garde stuff, and then also some really more, I don't know if conventional is the right word. So as where Gershwin was, he was listening to the early jazz and the early blues that was going on and incorporating it into his music, which then circled back in the 40s back into the jazz idiom, which I think is pretty interesting. Copeland, he focused more on folk elements, and he kind of went for that really pastoral thing. So I can't remember which one it is that has Hoedown in it. But yeah, he's got this kind of very big, open, spacious. Oh, Billy the Kid, that's what it is. And Fanfare for the Common Man, obviously, which betrays somewhat of his, let's say, communistic leanings, which he was heavily criticized for, I think, back in the day. So yeah, this is cool. This is a half-speed master, by the way, 180 grams, and it's from the Minnesota Orchestra. And Mom heard it on the radio, not this particular version, but she didn't have this one on vinyl, so she asked Kenn if he had it. And we've said this many times, guys, Kenn has the most bitchin' classical collection you can find.
I had to hunt this down.
Was it not in your collection already, or was it?
No, this was brand new. I mean, this label
Oh,
specializes in Minnesota
yeah,
symphony recordings.
yeah. Oh
A
wow,
really small label.
yeah. So yeah, this is probably a rare find. Also a pretty hit picture, by the way. Look at that. So yeah, Copeland, man.
Well, this was kind of a grail for me. This is something I was looking for forever. I might have talked about this at some point.
You did, but
Masters of Reality,
yeah,
first album. Love this band. They're an American band, even though they sound pretty British, and they
it
sound,
looks pretty British.
yeah, it's kind of like swampy prog, you know. I mean, they've got their own sound, and the second album, actually, Ginger Baker played drums on.
Wow.
But this is a great reissue. It's on Delicious Vinyl, which was kind of a hip hop label, which is sort of weird, but blue vinyl sounds incredible. Masters of Reality is one of those bands everybody should look into. Like I say, they've got their own sound. If you like hard rock and you like kind of heavy guitar kind of stuff, the guy's got a really unique voice. He's almost got a kind of a little bit of an Ian Gillian sort of thing going on here and there, but a little swampier. But great album. I never thought I'd find this on vinyl.
I think you brought that up maybe in our first episode.
Could have been.
Maybe. Well,
Yeah.
We'll have to have the Deep Grooves fanatics go look into the vaults and get back to us on that.
Yeah. So Masters of Reality, self-titled.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah. Well, this is, what day is this, by the way? So 23rd. This might be the 23rd.
2 days before Christmas.
Yeah. Wait a minute. So, okay, yeah. So there's one more week left. Yeah. So 20th episode. That's a big deal. We popping some champagne, or like what are we doing? This is we've hit 20 in 2020. It's a big deal. Thank you everyone who's been watching so far. By the way,
we're gonna have the big shootout at the store today.
Right? Yeah. Tell them what you're doing.
We're listening to 6 different versions of Sergeant Pepper.
You're a fanatic
today.
You're a fanatic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty geeky stuff. There might be some beer involved.
Yeah. So I guess it doesn't make sense to mention, by the time this comes out, it'll be probably past Christmas, but so I was going to say come in on Wednesday and Thursday, but Wednesday and Thursday will have been in the past, even though it's in the future for us.
Yeah, well, we're open Saturday, the day after Christmas.
Are you not open? Oh, you're not open Friday.
Friday's Christmas.
Sorry, I'm Jewish, man. I need an external source on this stuff. I'm not paying attention at all.
Yeah. So, and then, regular hours after that.
Yeah. Sweet. All right, everybody. Well,
so this is probably it for the year.
This is probably our last episode of the year. Quick note. You're watching this video, you're going, you know what? I have like 1 or 2 cool records that I picked up, like brand new pressings. Should probably get a couple more before the year is over, or maybe get myself a Christmas present. What would somebody in that situation do, Ken?
They would come down to Paramount Record Shop in downtown Watertown and do some serious digging.
Mm-hmm.
We got the stuff.
They got the stuff, man. I want to show this briefly. This isn't related to the episode, and I'll talk about this in another episode. But look at what I found at Ken's store. Look at this, people. This is Egberto Gismondi. Sold. Oh shit. Something, and look who's on this record. I gotta plug this because I gotta show you. This is the kind of stuff you find. I don't find this stuff anywhere else. So we got Egberto, incredible. Nana Vasconcelos. I hadn't heard of him before. He's really cool. He plays a lot of like African instruments. Ralph Towner, Colin Walcott, incredible, and Jan Garbrick. Like, where else are you gonna find this stuff? You got to find someone who's like willing to like look for the people who have this kind of stuff. Anyways, so yeah, so head down to Paramount Record Shop. It's the place to be. Yeah. So Merry Christmas for those who celebrate.
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
And Happy New Year. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everyone who's been sticking around and watching our videos. You know who you are. You specifically, you know who you are. And if you
haven't subscribed yet, subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to the channel. That way you know when we're putting stuff out.
Yeah. So we'll see you next year.
All right. See you next year, everybody.